Come with us into the future. We are going to look at what the Detroit Lions offensive line is going to look like in 2027. Hi, Mike Payton from A to Z Sports Detroit. Today we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions offensive line and how in the draft we think they may have just concreted what the future of this thing is going to look like. There's really only one way to do it. We're going to have to get in our time machine. We're going to have to hop in the DeLorean, and we're going to have to gun that baby to 88 and head to 2027, where we're going to predict what the Lions offensive line is going to look like, or we're going to show you, because we're going to be in 2027. Let's do this. Let's go in time. All right, we're in 2027 now. Things are not much different. It's only 2 years, but here's what we know. Frank Ragnow has retired. He is going to go host a fishing show on the Discovery Channel, and he's going to be super famous because of it. It's going to be really great. Taylor Decker also got a reality TV job. He's the new host of Hell's Kitchen. He won a bet with Gordon Ramsay, so he's the guy there now. The Lions have some spots to fill, and we think they've already filled them because of this 2025 NFL draft from 2 years ago. Here's what we think the Lions' offensive line is going to look like in 2027. So let's start with left tackle. It's going to be Penei Sewell. Obviously, Sewell's been on the right side his entire career, but if you remember back to his rookie season, he did play left tackle for a little bit while Taylor Decker was hurt. With Decker gone, it just makes so much sense to have one of the best offensive linemen in the game switch from the right to the left, where he's not going to have any drop-off. He's still going to be a baller. He's still going to be one of the best offensive linemen, one of the best football players just in general in the NFL. I think this is going to work out perfectly. Let's go to left guard. It's going to be last year's draft pick, Christian Mahogany. It seems like he's going to maybe take that role on this year. He could probably beat out Graham Glasgow, I think. On the right side, it seems like Tate Ratledge is going to take that role this year. But as far as left guard goes, Mahogany, I think he's ready to go. He really showed last year in the playoffs and when he got in during the regular season that, the offensive line didn't seem to miss a beat. This guy's ready to go. He'll start at left guard probably this year and hold that role down for the rest of his career maybe. Okay, moving on to center. Now, the Lions drafted this guy to be a right guard, and I think that's where he'll start is Tate Ratledge. But I think the plan is probably to move him to center at some point. And the reason why we say that is Brad Holmes on day 3 after the draft had wrapped up was asked if both Ratledge and Miles Frazier would get their shots at center. Holmes said that, yes, they're going to both get looks there. They're going to get cross-trained by Hank Fraley. I just think that at the end of the day, Ratledge is going to take to center really well. And I think, as everything evolves and everything develops, you have Miles Frazier who could take over that right guard spot. Here's a spoiler. It's going to be Miles Frazier at right guard. But that will allow Ratledge to move into center. And I think, like I said, I think he just takes that role on really well. This is a guy that he's so good at blocking people. I think he'll be fine once he learns how to snap the ball, which can be difficult to learn and figure out and, snap and block immediately. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how the cross-training goes. But after a few years of just working with him on it, I think by 2027, he should be ready to go with that. And then at right guard, like we said, Miles Frazier, that's where he predominantly played at LSU. That's where he had the most success. I think, obviously he could play right guard, left tackle, right tackle. He could play pretty much anywhere on the field. But I think right guard, sticking him where he had his most success at LSU is probably the thing that makes the most sense. All right, let's go to right tackle. Giovanni Manu. The guy, the project, after all these years, after 2024, 2025, 2026, working with him, he'll probably get in some games every now and again. He'll have some more time, get some more snaps. By 2027, we think he's ready to start. And obviously, if you can get out of him what you're hoping to get out of him with that size and that athleticism, those tree trunk legs, the speed that this guy has, it's unbelievable. I'm not saying he's all pro or Pro Bowl, but I am saying that I think he's going to be a really good starter, and I think the Lions will love him at right tackle, and I think that's a good spot for him to take over. Putting him on the left is, that's, covering the blind side. That's just a whole nother, aspect of the game that it's scary. But putting him on the right side, I think he will do pretty well there. And by 2027, it's going to look good. So that is what I think the offensive. It's not what I think, because remember, we're in the future. It's what I know the offensive line is going to look like in 2027. We'll see what happens then. I mean, we're already seeing what happens now. I've already got the almanac. I know what happens. But you get what I'm saying. We'll see what happens in 2027. Let's go back to 2025. Or we can stop at Biff's Casino if you want first. We could do that. We'll see you guys next time.